starting with string playlist. So the first question in our board is remove outermost parentheses. What does this question mean to us? Let's try to understand. So the question is like this, which you have given as an input. So see, are you guys able to see? Yeah. So this is an open bracket. Inside an open bracket, you have an open bracket and close bracket, open and close. So we need to remove the outermost parentheses. So inside this 0 and the 5 block, you have 1, 2, 3, 4, and that bracket are like closing and opening. So we are going to print 0 and 5. We are not going to print those, we are going to remove those. And we are going to print 1, 2, 3, 4. So we are removing the outer brackets and just printing the inner. Let's move to now index 6 to 9. So see, 6 is an open bracket, 7 is inside 6 and 8 is also inside 6 and 9. So we need to remove 6 and 9. So which are the indexes which we need to remove is 0, 5, 6 and 9. I have made a table and let's go to the logic. See, we need to remove index 0, 5, 6, 9 and I have shaded those with peach color. So see, whenever you have at 5 and 9, like those brackets are closing and you have count 0, you can remove them. Index when you have open with 0 and 6, you have count as 1. How are we going to remove it? Let's try to see. So let me just perform an iteration for you guys. Okay, so we are going to follow just a simple rule. If you have open bracket, increment the count, and if you have the close bracket, decrement the count, right? So, okay. So see, now we have an open bracket, so the count is like 0, and we are incrementing the count to 1. Hmm. See, your count is 0, and they have told like if you have open bracket, increment, and if you have closed, decrement the count. Let me try to explain you the logic from beginning to end. So see, you have an open bracket, so we are incrementing the count to 1, and we need to remove this. You see, if you have again open bracket, you're incrementing the count to 2, 1 plus 1, 2. You have a closed bracket, which is green shaded. We are decrementing the count 1. Again, we have an open bracket, so we are incrementing the count, which is 2. Now we have a closed bracket, so we are incrementing the count or decrementing the count. Yeah, decrementing the count and it becomes 1. Again we have a closed bracket and we are decrementing the count, which is 0, and we need to remove this. Now we have an open bracket, so we are incrementing the count, which is 1, and we need to remove this. You know why we need to remove this, right? We have open bracket, so we are incrementing the count. We have closed bracket, so we are decrementing the count to -1, which is 1. And we have a closed bracket and we are decrementing the count, which is 0. Now see, uh, I'll go to the code. Now see, when your count is 0 and you have an open bracket, so you are adding in the you are adding in the answer and later incrementing the count. So see. Um, okay. So see. Yeah. So see. Your count is 0 and you have an open bracket. So what's your count? Like initially it is 0. Don't see this count, see the code count. It's 0. So and your count is not greater than 0. So you're not gonna add it into the answer. You're just gonna increment the count to 1. And we are not adding into the answer. So why you see peach we are supposed to remove and it's getting removed. Now we have again open. Now your count is 1, right? Here your count is what? 1. And 1 is greater than 0. Like 1 is greater than 0, right? So we are appending in our answer the character. And now it goes here count plus plus. So your count becomes 2. Now see, now you have in close bracket. In close, else means if it's not open, then close. So your count is decrementing. So it becomes 1, right? And now you see 1 is greater than 0. Yes. So we are appending that character and that only we needed to add, right? So देख रहे हो अगर like you are saying कि if हमारा count if it's like count हम माइनस माइनस पहले कर रहे हैं बिकॉज अगर काउंट इज ग्रेटर देन 0 सो वो ऐड हो जाएगा नहीं तो रिमूव कर दो बट अगर हम काउंट पहले करेंगे प्लस प्लस सो ये काउंट 1 1 हो जाएगा काउंट 1 हो जाएगा एंड ये ऐड हो जाएगा सो पहले हम इधर काउंट चेक कर रहे हैं सो लाइक हमें इधर 0 आ रहा है सो ओपन सो मतलब इनसाइड दैट इफ दैट सम लूप तो वो ऐड ना होए एंड तुम्हें फिर काउंट प्लस प्लस कर रहे हो तो इसके लिए हम पहले ऐड कर रहे हैं इधर और बाद में काउंट प्लस प्लस कर रहे हैं ओके समझ आ रहा है now you see now we have open bracket so ये इधर गया 1 is greater than 0 so add करो and count plus plus now your count becomes 2 now close so else count becomes again 2 minus 1 which is 1 1 is greater than 0 so we are adding the character. This is the value of count. COUNT. Okay. Now we have close bracket. So else minus minus. So your count becomes 0. And when it becomes 0, we are not adding it to answer. We need to remove it. Now you have open. Now as soon as open count is 0, so we are not adding it. It's just incrementing. Now you have count as 1 which is greater than 0. So now we are gonna add it and it becomes 2. See the values are matching. Okay. Count now we have closed brackets. So 2 minus 1 it becomes 1. And 1 is greater than 0 so we are adding it into the answer and your count is 1 now. Again you have close so count minus minus your count becomes 0 0 greater than 0 so it won't go to this loop and it's not ending add it and your count becomes 0 and this is what you got into the answer. Okay, so let's try to code. So in Java or C++, this string means what? We need to return it in form of a string. But in string, in Java, we cannot add characters in that. So we are making a new variable called string builder answer equal to new string builder. Now we are converting our string to character array s dot to char array. Now in this, we need to initialize our count as 0. And you guys are supposed to do coding with me. साथ साथ करो, बस सुनने से काम नहीं चलता, खुद भी लिखो ताकि होए क्वेश्चंस। पहले हमने क्या चेक किया, इफ कैरेक्टर इक्वल टू ओपन है, सो हम क्या कर रहे हैं, ऐड कर रहे हैं आंसर डॉट अपेंड ch। कब अपेंड कर रहे हैं, बस जब ओपन है तभी। क्या गलती की है, एक तो पहले क्लोज लिखा, ओपन लिखो। ऐसे ही डायरेक्ट अपेंड कर देंगे तो ये भी आ जाएगा, बट हमें तो बस इनर वाला प्रिंट करना है ना। तो पहले हम क्या कर रहे हैं, बोलो। मिस्टेक्स कर रहे हो जानबूझ के ताकि तुम बताओ। चेक करना है, इफ काउंट इज ग्रेटर देन 0, हाँ, देन ओनली यू नीड टू अपेंड इट, मतलब ऐड करोगे तुम अपने आंसर वेक्टर में। अगर तुम्हारा काउंट ग्रेटर देन 0 नहीं है तो तुम ऐड नहीं करोगे, बस काउंट को इंक्रीमेंट करना है। if is not greater than 0 but वो ओपन है। else मतलब कैरेक्टर इज क्लोज। एंड इफ अगर तुम्हारा अकाउंट ग्रेटर देन 0 है, सो तुम क्या करोगे, तभी ऐड करोगे। एंड इससे पहले क्लोज है तो पहले माइनस कर दो, फिर ही चेक करो, अगर वो ग्रेटर देन 0 तब है तभी ऐड करो। सो एल्स ब्लॉक हो गया, फॉर ब्लॉक हो गया। नाउ वी नीड टू रिटर्न द आंसर डॉट टू string. Let's return and let's try to run. And हमारा कोड चल गया। Wow, that's like great, है ना? So logic explanation कुछ doubt है? Any doubt in the logic explanation? So समझ आ रहा है, right? अगर तुम्हारा open है तो हम count को increment कर रहे हो, and अगर तुम्हारा close है, you are like decrementing the count. Okay. What can तो मेरे को एक डाउट है, लाइक वन डाउट, सो लेट मी ट्राई टू एक्सप्लेन दैट पार्ट। सो अगर तुम्हारा कैरेक्टर ओपन है एंड तुम तब काउंट अगर ग्रेटर देन 0 कर रहे हो, व्हाई कांट यू पुट दिस काउंट प्लस प्लस लाइक पहले। अगर तुम काउंट प्लस प्लस पहले डालोगे सो 1, तो ये कैरेक्टर भी ऐड हो जाएगा एंड हमें ये कैरेक्टर को रिमूव करना है। सो हम पहले चेक करेंगे काउंट ग्रेटर देन 0 है, 0, ये तो मतलब इसके अंदर ही कुछ होगा। सो काउंट मतलब अगर ग्रेटर देन 0 है तभी वो ऐड होएगा, नहीं तो नहीं होएगा वो। तो 0 ही है काउंट तो ये ऐड नहीं होएगा। ऐसे तुम चेक करोगे बिकॉज तुम्हें आउटर पैरेंथेसिस रिमूव करना है, तुम्हें इनर लेना है। सो समझ आया ना? एनी डाउट्स यू कैन आस्क मी इन कमेंट्स, आई विल एक्सप्लेन। थैंक यू। हाँ, एक बार कोड और देख लो। सो दिस इज द कोड। ओके देन, बाय।